Let's talk about the teaching continuum. The teaching continuum, if you can draw a line in your mind across a page, and it would go from left to right or right to left, just a normal straight line and the line runs horizontally. And on the left, you've got teacher, and on the right of that line, you've got learner. The learning teaching continuum suggests that the learner is moving from learner to teacher on this continuum to varying degrees, varying amounts through varying times of the instruction, and the same thing is happening with the teacher. In the learning teaching continuum, each person who's got a role to play in the lesson itself is moving from one side of the continuum to the other side of the continuum, depending on what's going on within the instruction. So there are times when a teacher has taught a lesson and is more on the side of the teacher or teaching continuum, and then the lesson is completed. The learners go out and investigate, write, think, and create some sort of product. And now it's time for that learner to share their product. Now you've got the learner moving from learning continuum toward the teaching side of the continuum, recognizing that even as a teacher, there are practical things to learn as you teach, but the point is that the content or the role itself is in the teaching moment is going to slide closer to the teaching side when the teacher decides to present instruction. So this is a big deal within the classroom or the learning space, because it empowers learners to recognize that a role that is oftentimes the most prominent role within the learning space, which is teacher, is a role that the teacher can share with them. And it's not just the teacher can share the role with learners because the learners are now thinking about and practicing ways to help provide instruction or help their peers understand the instruction that the teacher gave, but it's also that the learners also can help teach and expand the consciousness, the awareness, help deepen the skills and sharpen the understandings, and expand the knowledge of the person who's occupying that teaching role. So this learning and teaching continuum has an empowering effect on everyone. So even it has an empowering effect on the person who's occupying the teacher role. That person who's occupying the teacher role, it is empowering to know that you are able to empower others by sharing or becoming an accomplice with those individuals whom we understand as learners. Now these learners have turned or have moved on the continuum, and they have provided us the opportunity to do something that is traditionally understood to be a task that only the teacher does. Now the learners are teaching, and it becomes a very vibrant, vital experience, because people are sliding to the left and to the right of that continuum in various times, and so they're all negotiating, maneuvering, expressing, sharing, connecting, living within this whole learning environment. Now the culture in the classroom is that of teacher and learner, and everyone can at times have some sense of equality, which is really at the core of what it is to be human. All humans are equal in their essence. All humans are as important, essentially, in their humanity or in their personhood. They are all as important as the next person, the next human. So it becomes sort of a new society that takes place within that learning space, and the continuum, keeping the continuum in mind, can help facilitate that. So as you teach, maybe keep in mind this continuum and see how it actually plays out, not trying to force these things, but just noticing what happens when they come up, and see how this continuum can work out in your learning space, and see whether or not this is accurate, this is true in your experience. Is it true that the learner who understands the power that they possess to slide on that continuum from learner to teacher, does it help to enhance, brighten their experience academically, socially, emotionally, and culturally?